Hi y'all, and welcome to my channel, Friend Makes Things, and our Mary Maxim Crochet Club of the Month review video for October 2025. I know we are well into November, but we usually get the Mary Maxim kits right at the end of the month, so we end up having to talk about them sometime in the middle of the following month. So here we are, middle of November, talking about the October kit. This video is going to be in 4 parts. Part 1 is who is Mary Maxim and what is the Crochet Club of the Month. Part 2 is who is Mary Maxim, what is the Crochet Club of the Month, and what came in this month's kit. Part 2 is looking at the project itself. Part 3 is pros, cons, and user error. And then part 4 is final thoughts and sign off. Timestamps are on the screen in the description box and as chapters in the video. So if there is something specific that you're here looking for, do feel free to use those timestamps. Quickly, before we get started, I do want to say hello to everybody. Hello to the new subscribers, the OGs, anyone in between. Hello to the people who are curious about the Mary Maxim box. If you want a full breakdown of like the first 6 months of the subscription that I was getting, I will include a link here for you. And to anyone else who may have clicked on this video, you're also very much appreciated. Your kind and considered comments are always so welcome in the comment section. If you're new here, this is Junior, my co-host, the mascot, a spoiled rotten cat. But anyway, let's get into part 1, who is Mary Maxim and all that jazz. So Mary Maxim is a long-standing yarn crafts company. They're located in both Canada and the US, and they provide a wide selection of yarn and patterns and kits and puzzles and a bunch of other fun stuff. They're linked in the description box if you want to go check them out. They have some monthly clubs, and I have signed up to their Crochet Club of the Month. They have like knit clubs, Afghan clubs. I think they have a sock club as well, I'm not sure. But I always signed up for the Crochet Club of the Month. And what that entails is every single month you get a crochet project. You get the pattern, you get the yarn, sometimes you get bonus items, and yeah, pricing is on the screen for you, but it's $18.99 a month with an additional $4.99 in shipping and handling. Like I mentioned before, we get charged around the 10th of the month, and the items usually ship out about 2 weeks later, and then we usually see them arrive sometime in the last few days of the month. So yeah, this is by far not something that you order and then you immediately get, but it's still pretty cool, I think. So now let's move Mr. Baby Cat, and we'll take a look at what we got this month. I'm sure he will be back. So in every box, or every kit, comes with like a little plastic project bag, and I tend to keep everything in here as I am working. And I feel like I might be missing, yeah. So in this month's kit, we got this colorful tote and iPad tablet cover. So we have like a little tote to carry around and a tablet cover, and then these are the instructions. They're all pretty straightforward, pretty easy to follow. And yeah, in it they also gave us 3 skeins of this gemstone red heart yarn. It's 100% acrylic. Each skein is 250 meters, 312 yards, 200 grams. They recommend a 6mm hook for the project that you see here. And I got, it's a number 5 bulky, and I got the color Fluorite. There was 2 different colors, ways that you could get. This month it was either Fluorite or, oh no, Junior's messing with my keyboard. Fluorite or Fire Agate. Be right back. So that was chaotic. But we got 3 skeins of this, and I ended up having to use a little bit of this 3rd skein to finish off both projects. So now let's get into part 2, looking at the project itself. Now for the tote, I don't think that the photo does it justice. I think it turned out pretty nicely. So here's the tablet cover. I made it slightly larger for one specific reason, which we'll talk about when we reach it, but here's the tablet cover. And then here's the tote. So they gave us some heavy weight plastic canvas in this box too, or in this bag too, and that was for the base. Now please ignore all the cat hair. I have too many cats and cat hair gets everywhere. But what they did is they had us do a base, 2 levels of a base. So we have the outside and we have the inside of the base, and that really gives this tote structure. But here is the top, or the one side. Here is the other side, the bottom, or the sides, I guess, if they matter to you. This other side, it's pretty straightforward, this tote. And then like the interior, if you look inside of it. It says that it should measure um 5 by 12.5 finished, 15 by 11, and I think we're about there. Yeah, we're a little bit bigger than 5. We're a bit shorter than, what did it say? 5 by 12.5. We ended up right about 11.5. That means I measured something wrong along the way. And then lengthwise, it measures 10.5 ish. But there are, like, instead of saying how many rows of each you do, they talk about repeats and stuff like that. Wait, no. This one they want you to count rows. Sometimes they want you to count repeats. This time they wanted you to count rows. So it's a little bit shorter than it's supposed to be. It's a little bit narrower than it's supposed to be. I did size up for the hooks. For the bag, or for the tote, they wanted an 8 or a 5mm hook. I think I did a 5.5mm hook. And for the base, they wanted a 5mm hook. I did a 5.5, And for the main body, they wanted a 4mm hook. I did a 4.5, and the same goes for the tablet case because I crochet tight. So for this, they did a really cool like technique where so much cat hair. You mostly just do back loop crochets, and you end up getting back loop half double crochets, and you end up getting like this really pretty kind of ribbed look. You'll really see it well in the tote bag. And then every so often they have you do a repeat of these like cross stitch like X's, so that you have like a little bit of something going on in a pretty simple looking bag. Here it is, propped up in the same place I've been propping everything else up, so you can see the size of it, with like a water bottle next to it most likely. I haven't taken those photos yet, but with a water bottle next to it most likely. And I think I'm going to do the toilet paper test, and we'll see how many bags or rolls of toilet paper we can fit inside of this. It is floppy because it's just a crochet tote, but yeah, this is the back side. This is where my seam is. And I realized as I was finishing it off that I could have done a cleaner seam. So you'll see in the tablet case that it is. And this green stitch marker indicates where I changed out to the next skein of yarn. So all of this base here and the whole bottom, like the double-sided base and all the way up to here was one skein, and then the rest was the next skein and onto the tote, or onto the tablet bag. So yeah, that's this. And then the tablet cover is right here. It's all exactly the same stitch, and I think in this you can kind of see how it's ridged a little bit nicer. It has some really nice texture to it. They had you do like a really narrow base so that you still have something flat, and then everything is worked in the round, going around and around and around. For this, they wanted you to actually leave holes, like a space, so that you can take your flap and run it through like this to secure it, which I thought was kind of a clever way of doing things. And yeah, they wanted it to measure like a tablet. They gave us precise measurements to work up to and stuff like that. My width is correct. My height is 2 rows taller than they wanted it to be, and that was because I wanted to show you actually having something inside. I don't have a tablet, but I do have my Remarkable 2, and so I wanted to show you that my Remarkable 2 almost fits. So I wanted my I wanted to kind of have something to show you for the Remarkable, and the only thing I have is a Remarkable 2, and we were close enough that I figured it worked. So top side, back side, flap that they had you put in. All of this is the same half double crochet in the back loop, or back loop and back bar. Back loop, back bar. So you have this really cool texture. This here I think is half double crochets or double crochets to a certain length so that it fits inside. And then I wanted to make this actually somewhat usable, so I did do a lining. This is from my stash. It's a batik that I got from Sewers Club, and I thought that the colors for it worked really well. It's really pretty straightforward. I just measured the length, doubled it. I cut that piece out, sewed down the sides, and then sewed along the top. And then I don't know why I did this here when I could have tucked it on in the inside, but it's just a very simple and straightforward piece of batik fabric that I thought worked pretty well with the bag itself. So I can't show you the interior because I did sew in a lining. I do want, we'll talk about the yarn in a minute. So yeah, that is the 2 projects that were in this month's box. Let's get into pros, cons, and user error. Pro, I like the style of this bag. I like the techniques that they used to make this. I like the kind of change in pattern so that we have like a couple of different textures. I like how sturdy the base is. I like the idea of using plastic canvas. I could see in the future using cardboard or something and working it up to the size that I want it to be, because this is a really easy pattern to make repeats in and to alter to make it work for you. I like the way that the handles are, and I kind of just like the feeling of this bag in general. I love the colors. On the bottom you can kind of see how pretty that gradient actually could be, and I like all of that about it. I like the idea of the way of doing the handle on this, or the closure on this bag. I like how it can fold over and tuck in. I could even see adding like a button or a snap to really make it secure. I like the idea of how you can make like a clutch or something kind of like this, and I like how easy it was to work with. What I don't like, I don't really like this yarn. It's an acrylic yarn, and you can tell it's an acrylic yarn. It feels like an acrylic yarn. It's not the best texture to work with. It works well for projects like this, but I think that this colorway is mottled. Like, you don't get clean striping with it. This is the best example. This is the closest to clean striping that you can see, right? Like, you get defined stripes, but in bigger projects like this, the colors kind of get lost, kind of get mixed. Like the gradient, the change in tone is so quick that I think that the colors get mottled. The other problem I had, and especially the second skein that I was working with, is there was a lot of factory breaks in it. Like, I think in the second skein that I worked with, I had 4 or 5 different factory breaks in it, which is insane for 285 meters of yarn. So I was constantly having to work with that, or change it out, or mess around with it, and I don't really like that. I don't really like the idea of a tablet case. I don't like anything like eyeglass cases, tablet cases, anything that you have like precious cargo in. Especially things with like glass or screens or something that you want to keep from getting scratched up. I don't think that the cotton, or this yarn, it's not cotton, I don't think this acrylic would scratch in, but it is kind of like textured, right? So I fear about fuzzies and things like that, thus putting a lining in. Yeah, user error. The only thing that I can really think on, and as I was making this, I thought about it too, is I could have done the seam cleaner. I could have done the join cleaner. Like if you look on this one, here's my join on this seam, and I think that this join is a lot smoother than this join. And all that was with this, I was doing a full, like, it's a half double crochet in the back loop and back bar. And when I got to the join, I just did a regular slip stitch into like the regular half double crochet. And on this one, I started doing the slip stitch into the back loop and back bar like everything else. And I think it just came out cleaner that way. But that's really, for me, the only real user error. So let's do part 4, final thoughts and sign off. I have every intention of making this big again. I plan on making it bigger, making it different shapes, cutting out different shapes for the bottom and working with all of that. I liked working with it a lot, and I think that it would make like a really cool kind of scrap yarn buster too, right? Like a whole bunch of different textures and colors and stuff, kind of leaning into that like bohemian feel. So I can definitely see myself coming back to this pattern here. I could also see myself coming back to this pattern for other items like card holders or kind of like little clutches or wallets or maybe like pencil cases and things like that by like adding a zipper in the top. Like I think that it is very much a versatile pattern. I just don't like it as a tablet pattern. I think this falls in line with a lot of other Mary Maxim projects that I've done. I like them. I'm not in love with them. And I really wish that we had some nicer feeling yarn to work with. In my 6-month review, we talked about how every single month is a clearance yarn or discontinued yarn, and always some sort of synthetic yarn. Sometimes a blend, but almost always some sort of synthetic yarn. And I can see why for $19, but at the same time, I kind of wish we were working with different, maybe getting like a natural yarn or something sometime in the future. So yeah, that is this month's project. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you not? Have you worked with this Red Heart gemstones before? Did you get this kit? Did you get these colors? Or did you get the other one that was available? All thoughts are welcome in the comment section. What do we have coming up this week? Wednesday is a sewing project. We're going to be looking at that Sally Tomato like little pattern that we got in the mystery box. Friday is an unboxing video. Monday is undetermined, and then after that, who knows? So do think about subscribing if you want to see any of those. Like the video if you've reached the end, and yeah, that's all I have to say. So with all that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye!